The Chargers season has gone from bad to worse. It was reported earlier this week before their blowout loss to the Raiders that star quarterback Justin Herbert was done for the year. Herbert needed to have surgery on his broken finger. The Oregon product had not missed a game before their loss to the Raiders on Thursday night. The former 6th overall pick injured his index finger on his right hand, which is his throwing hand. The 2020 Offensive Rookie of the Year was placed in the IR earlier this week. The 25-year-old quarterback has been dealing with the same right index finger injury for most of the year. He injured his finger earlier in the year but continued to play through it until he could no longer bear it. This season, Herbert has thrown for 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3,134 yards, a 65% completion percentage, and a 63.9 QBR. The 2022 Pro Bowler is currently 5th in the NFL for QBR, tied for 9th in passing touchdowns and 11th in passing yards. This season was expected to go well for the Chargers with all their talents such as Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, and others. The Chargers were expected to compete in a competitive AFC and a tough AFC West. However, that did not come to fruition as the Chargers are currently 5-9 and have the worst record in the division. They can still make the playoffs, but it is highly unlikely. The good news for the Chargers is that they could have a chance to land a top 10 and maybe even a top 5 pick in the upcoming draft. During the offseason, the Chargers had high hopes and decided to pay the Oregon product at the time the largest contract in NFL history at 5 years for $262.5 million. After their blowout loss to the Raiders on Thursday, they decided to fire head coach Brandon Staley. Herbert will be able to return later in the offseason, but once he takes the field in 2024, he will have his 3rd coach of his career. In his rookie season, he had Anthony Lynn, but was fired after his first year in the NFL. The last 3 years, he has had Brandon Staley, and in 2024, he will have a new coach. While he is out, backup Easton Stick will fill in for Herbert. Before Thursday, he had yet to start a game in the NFL. He threw for 3 touchdowns, but threw 1 interception that was returned back for a TD and fumbled twice in their blowout loss to the Raiders. Despite expectations being high after bringing in offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, the season did not go as expected, and the Chargers are not likely making the postseason.